Hello and welcome everyone. So I'm going to do a brief video here on weight loss. I've done a few videos on this already, but I'll include some of those links below this video, and any other information will be right below this video in the About section. So you might be wondering, James, I need to have protein. I need to have animal products. I'm just going to shrink down to nothing. That's why I'm losing weight. No, that's not why. So sit tight, watch this whole video. I'm going to explain in detail what's happening. First off, number one, it's water weight. When you transition to fruits that are water rich, you're not going to retain as much of that water because you're actually going to start hydrating with natural water from fruits versus a standard American diet or any diet that contains a lot of animal products and foods that are very high in salt and have virtually no water. You're going to retain that water, okay? And you're also going to lose some fat in the beginning, but the majority of it's going to be water weight. And people freak out. They get on the scale every day and they're like, oh my gosh, I've lost 10 pounds. Well, majority of that's water weight. Welcome to the transition. The body will balance itself out, believe me. I've been doing this long enough to know, so I can tell you that if you're eating enough food for your body, and I'll get into that here in a moment, you're not going to have this problem. But you can't just eat 2 apples. Again, I would be not doing too many vegetables. It'll slow the process down. But let's say you just ate this, and this is all you ate all day, you're going to have a problem. So I'm going to show you here what you can do to, really help yourself out during this process. And I'm a big fan of berries. They all pull acids out of the body. The only one that's going to be a little more harsh as far as pulling them out quickly, causing mouth ulcers, is strawberries. So I don't suggest doing a lot of those. They're a little more on the acidic side. They're still a great fruit, but in the beginning I would stick with blackberries, blueberries, or raspberries. Blackberries, I've done videos on this where I'm always looking for high quality ripe fruit in my area. I live in an expensive city. I have a lot of choices, so it's really taken a lot of legwork and time to really find out what I need to do to go to the right places. And now I've been able to find blackberries fresh, better quality than this. They're actually really firm, and they're $5 for 2 pounds. Amazing, right? I used to find non-organic berries for $1 a package, but now things fluctuate and they change. Now I've been able to find consistently at a discount place that has really ripe blackberries. Some of their other stuff is not that great, but hey, I'm going there for blackberries and a few other things, and they got it for $1.50 for a 6-ounce package, organic. Amazing, high quality. I'll be doing future videos to show you guys how to store those and really get the most out of what you're buying, so you don't have to go every day. I'm really trying to minimize my time frame going to these places because it's taking a lot of time. Also, I'm going to show you here dates. Dates are great. I've seen Trader Joe's. They have these for $5 for 1 pound. If you look closely, you can find some that have the quality of this. They're not too dried out. They're really moist. That's what you want. I personally eat a pound of these a day. I can find them now for about $4.50. They're really high quality dates. I love the taste of them. Just pull the seed out. You can throw that in. I do a pound a day. So again, I'm giving you the tips that really fuel my body and why I'm eating a few pounds less of fruit per day. So I'm explaining that here in this video. And the next fruit I want to show you is figs. I love figs when they're fresh. Trader Joe's has the best deal on that I've seen in my area. I don't buy anything else from them. Maybe some bananas, but usually I can find bananas at a lower price too, even than Trader Joe's. There's just a lot of choices in my area, and I'm utilizing all of them, even if I have to go further out. I'm willing to do that and then store the fruit as long as it's fresh, ripe, not rotten, it's not frozen, it's not dried, and that's the key. That's what I'm trying to stress to all of you folks. They got it for $3.99 for 16 ounces. I've even seen it as low as $4.99 for 32 ounces, which is 2 pounds versus the 1 pound. So, figs can be really inexpensive, or they can be a lot. If you go to Whole Foods, they're $6.99 a pound. Big difference. So keep that in mind, folks. It's about ripeness and quality. Everything doesn't have to be organic unless you're going with strawberries or you're going with herbs. Things of that nature should be organic because herbs can, some of them, for example, like oregano can absorb all the chemicals in the air when it grows from the ground. If it's wild and it grows from the mountains, it doesn't do that. So there's a big, big difference. Strawberries are sprayed with 30 or 40 different pesticides. I haven't looked at the exact nowadays, but that's the way it was a few years ago. So keep that in mind. But when you're detoxing and your body's really getting to that next level and you're doing intermittent fasting, again, I'll include that link below this, you are getting to the next level of flushing everything out. Can pesticides be more harmful if you're on a standard American diet? Absolutely, because you're already getting a lot of chemicals from those other foods. Animal products contain a lot of chemicals. Even if it's grass-fed, you're still going to get it because everything is mass-produced. Keep that in mind. A living fruit is different. Even bananas. They're going to be sprayed with a chemical if they're non-organic, but bananas are really inexpensive. You know, these can be cheap, but you want to chew your foods. The reason I'm showing you this is weight loss comes from juice. It's hard to balance out weight when it's liquid because you're separating that fiber and the sugar. I've mentioned this before. So don't do that. You want, I mean, if you did it for a couple days in the beginning, I still wouldn't do all fruit. Juicing and blending is meant for doing greens because they're harder to digest. And I mentioned that over 4 years ago to get people to ease into the process. But in reality, you want to be chewing these fruits. And you want to be eating enough fruit for your body. Okay? So everybody's body is different, but you want to be eating enough. So for example, if you're just drinking this little bit of juice a day, of course you're going to lose weight. Or you're like, James, I'm drinking a smoothie. I can't figure out, you know, just look at the people, and not knocking them, but they've really aged over the years because they drink a lot of smoothies. Why? Because they're drinking sugar water. And granted, this is better than stuff store-bought. I've mentioned this before, but if you want to go to the next level, pick up your fruit, wash it, put it in a large bowl, eat enough for your weight. For example, I used to eat about 8.8 pounds of fruit when it was a little more water-rich. But now that I've added, you know, about 4 bananas a day, back then I was doing some per day, some not, a pound of dates a day, a pound of figs, and I've really coordinated it, then I don't need as much. I'm down to about just under 7 pounds, sometimes right at 7 pounds. Use about 6.8 pounds a day. So bananas should be spotted. They're really inexpensive, as I mentioned. I just wouldn't do a lot of them. You can't do 20 bananas a day. You got to balance it out. And you can incorporate other fruits, folks. You know, just to show you, if you wanted to do an apple, you could do an apple. This is not going to be a problem. So I just wouldn't do a lot of them. But again, I'm just showing you some examples. You want the sweet fruits, the subacid fruits. So I hope that makes sense. Keep moving forward, folks. Any questions, go ahead and put that below in the comments, and I'll do a video about it. But all the weight loss, you'll balance out to what your body's naturally supposed to weigh. If you want to gain more muscle, then you got to have the bananas and the dates will make that complete protein. All the fruits have protein, all the amino acids, but you'll get higher amounts, and you'll get those from the dense foods. You'll get the overall more benefits when you do that, and I've noticed that. Okay, but I wouldn't do just all dates and bananas and call it a day. You got to balance it out with berries to pull the acids out. So that's why I really stress this in this video. You could eat mangoes if you wanted to. I just wouldn't do a lot of them. And you got to work with the amount of food and fruit that works for you. So for me, it's 7 pounds, 1 meal a day. Again, don't start with 1 meal. Start with 3 meals. And really, you should be full at the end of your meal, and you shouldn't be starving. In the beginning, however, you got to work through the symptoms where you will be hungry because your body's detoxing. But once you go past that after 30 days, it gets easier. That won't happen. Especially if you're doing the intermittent fasting and you're getting your body used to drinking water during that time. And when you master that, you can always go to the higher level. Thank you so much, folks. Bye-bye.